Hi, I'm Joseph.
Hi, I'm Jacob.
And this is our screening of... Wait, what are we seeing?
We're watching Black Panther.
Oh, Black Panther. Yeah.
So this is a theater behind us. It's outside and it's raining.
It is.
This is Arizona, that's what's a big deal, because it doesn't rain.
There's like, everyone's outside right now.
It's been raining for like 30 hours straight.
It's the best.
This never happens. This is not normal. Anyway, we're about to go in the theater. What do you think?
I don't know. I'm excited.
It's got a crazy high Rotten Tomatoes score.
Does it really?
Yeah.
Do you think that's because of the political factor?
I mean, it's possible. I mean, so like, to get nerdy, my dissertation is kind of on like...
Fake African cultures?
No. Oh. No, but it's on the fact that people want to see themselves represented.
Sure.
And now mine's in education, but here, like, I mean, when was the last time we had a movie, anything close to this? And I don't think Blade counts. No, I'm saying comic book, sorry.
Oh, comic book.
Sorry, comic book? Comic book.
The only one that comes to mind right now is Blade.
But Blade is like 20 years old.
I think the last Blade came out like 10 years ago. For reference, it's 2018.
You know, we've had some good TV lately.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I mean, good TV.
But I mean, this is very different. But people are eating this up.
Yeah.
This is great. I mean, this is not...
I'm skeptical. I'm thinking it might be because of like a political kind of thing going on. I don't know. Maybe. That's what my heart tells me right now. But I'm still excited to see it. Black Panther's a cool character.
I'm excited. I think it's gonna be good.
Yeah, I mean, he wears a vibranium suit. That's freaking awesome. And he's from a fake African country. I love Africa. Even the fake ones.
Well, Joseph lived in Africa for 2 years.
Yeah, this is a little over 2 years. This is great.
I didn't.
Yeah. I really don't know that much about this movie. I just know that it's a fake African country. Oh, who's directing? Do you know who's directing?
Coogler. Ryan?
Ryan Coogler's directing?
Yes, this is his third movie. So speaking of Creed, that was his last movie.
I really liked Creed. A lot. You realize he's like 32?
Yes. They were talking about that on Twitter yesterday. They're like, yeah, so we've got like decades more from this guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is his third movie.
I saw Creed and immediately, like, I didn't think much of it. I was in town somewhere and I thought, oh, I have a couple hours to kill. I'll go grab Creed. And I was just, what is that, like the 7th movie in the Rocky franchise? And it was by far the best. Well, maybe not by far the best, but it was
we get to
really,
see Michael
good.
B. Jordan again.
Yeah, it was really, really good. And so I looked this guy up and I realized that he's a little bit younger than I am. And I was like, oh,
yeah.
Crap.
Yeah.
I suck.
Well,
but yeah, I am looking
that's
forward
not
to...
the point of this.
I'm looking forward to more movies from him, and that actually makes me look forward to this movie even more because I really respect him as a director.
Let's go watch it.
Let's go watch it.
Let's do it. So we just watched Black Panther.
Yeah, we did. We just got out of it, like literally just now. All right, what'd you think? Go.
It felt like a solid, complete movie.
Yeah, it was pretty good. I was expecting it to be a little more political.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it didn't. There were hints. Like I understand why people commented about the movie the way that they have, like you know, the reviews and things, but also like unless you want to be offended, I don't think you're gonna walk away from this thinking like, oh man, people need to like stay in their lane. They need, you know, no, it's.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I just expected it to be more. I didn't really hear much about it prior.
I think it was talking more to black people than it was to white people.
Yeah. I'm not really sure. It didn't feel super political to me. Mm-hmm. But I'm also not very good at picking up on that kind of stuff. Like, you know, I didn't know Beyonce's dance at the Super Bowl was political, you know. I just thought she was dancing, you know. So
I was more offended by the people sitting behind us than
I
was of anything else.
We were in a theater full of children.
And by children, he means like
high school
kids.
Yeah, but like the annoying ones, not my high
school
your
students.
kids.
Not my high school students.
I don't teach many high school students.
They're more respectful.
But no, I don't think any of them were
than
there.
the group behind us. They kept hitting my chair, and they're
it can make the movie theater experience a little harder, but anyway.
Yeah, it's frustrating.
But no, it was fun. I had a really good time watching the movie. Everybody did really well. I don't think there was a weak part in the cast.
And one of the things that they'd said about the movie is just everybody had development.
Yeah, and they did, and it was really long. Was it really long, or did it just feel long?
I had read 2.5 hours, and then before we came out, my wife looked it up, 2:14, 2 hours 14 minutes.
It felt really long, but probably just because there was a lot of development.
It was a complete movie in and of itself.
Yeah.
Do you think you need to, how much do you think you need to know before you go into this? Of all the last 10 years of Marvel movies?
Really nothing.
Not a whole lot.
No, you just got to know that Black Panther exists. Now obviously the events of not Civil War, but the events of Captain America 2. Civil War? Wait, what?
No. 2 is Winter Soldier, 3 is Civil War.
Okay, yeah, so the events of Captain America 3 kind of lead up to this, but you don't necessarily need that film to appreciate this one. It just kind of gives you a little bit more insight.
There's no reference to the Sokovia Accords.
Yeah, it just kind of gives you a little reference of what's going on. I don't know, it was good. So, I don't know, quick breakdown of the movie. So, T'Challa, sorry. It's funny to say these names because a lot of these African names are made up and misspelled, even if they are made up improperly. They're not real names. And then, but they mixed in a lot of
Joseph lived in South Africa for 2 years.
Yeah, I've traveled in a few different countries in Africa, so I kind of know what I'm talking about. So they have these made up names that don't really jive with any of the language that we know from Africa. But then
But like people like me, I got no clue. but
then
they're bugging the heck out of him.
But they're bringing in like real African names, and they're done right, and then it's just kind of it's slightly annoying. And then I had some questions about Wakanda. So are we to believe that Wakanda developed like mathematics and technology completely independent, and language? Which that was interesting because they have a lot of things written in Wakandan, right? Which African...
A very different alphabet.
Now, African languages don't have... None of them have ever really been written down until they were, until they were conquered or until they were colonized by either the Dutch or the English. So really it's just been kind of adapted to work with our alphabet. Now they have their own alphabet, but it looks an awful lot like runes, So,
the Wakandan.
Yeah, the Wakandan. Sorry, these are just the weird things that are going through my mind right now. But anyway, so quick breakdown of the movie. T'Challa has taken his father's seat. It's really should be T'Challa. Never mind. But he's kind of taken over his father's seat, who has been killed. And like this is a country of people with legitimate problems. And that was one thing that I really appreciate about this film. There was a lot of legitimate problems. You have a bad guy who's a great bad guy, but he's not just bad because he's bad. He's bad because he's trying to go about things in just the wrong way, right?
At least within the confines of the story.
Yeah. So
if you adjusted the frame, he could be the good guy.
He could be the good guy. I mean, if we saw it from his perspective, really, he could be the good guy. But so in that sense, it was very solid. It was really good. I enjoyed it a lot. So he's trying to take over for his father. His father has made mistakes, which kind of comes out later in the movie.
Which is fantastic.
Yeah, it's really cool because you start out with this kind of big version of him, and then we kind of slowly break that down. So I really enjoyed that aspect of the movie. The character development for all the characters was really good. So here he is, he's trying to take over, he's trying to make everything work, and he just, Claw gets in the way and messes everything up, but
We're not really spoiling anything.
No,
right?
not really. I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think so. Claw was probably my favorite character, though. Andy Serkis was.
When did Andy Serkis get so big?
I don't know. He
was kind of big in King Kong.
Yeah.
And Skull Island. He was
kind of a fat dude, but he looks bulked up for this. You know what I mean?
Dude looks stacked.
He looks like he worked out a ton.
Yeah.
But I mean, he was going for that South African mercenary vibe, and they all look like that. So, but man, he plays a good South African too. His accent is pretty spot on, at least to American ears. No, nobody cares about what I'm saying right now. Nobody.
Shows if I care.
Thanks, buddy. Yeah. But no, he was really good. I think he was my favorite part of the movie, just because he's so zany and crazy. There's a lot of villains in this film.
He really enjoyed being a bad guy.
Yeah.
You know, you have the bad guy who's like, I'm evil, but I've never enjoyed a day in my life. Yeah. But he's just like, I love what I do, and I'm a bad guy.
He's very happy about it. Okay. He was great. I don't know. What stood out? What stood out to you?
So I think we gotta talk about, like, okay, it doesn't really talk about race in the way that you would expect in today's world, right?
Yeah.
You would expect the message in today's world is like, we need to respect.
Yeah.
We need to be equal. We need to, we need to represent. That is not what this movie. That's not its message at all.
No.
It does make reference to colonization throughout. But if you're talking about Africa,
yeah,
you kind of have to, in a way that you wouldn't in America.
Yeah. And that kind of harks back to that point that I made a little bit earlier, like they have a language and it's written, right? But that didn't really happen until colonization in real life.
Yeah.
But it's kind of funny, his little sister, I can't remember her name, but she keeps calling people colonizers, like the white people. It's pretty funny, but it's almost like there's a lot of curse words in Closa, which I thought was funny.
Well, yeah, at one point I'd turn over to him and he's just laughing, and I'm like, okay, they're totally swearing at you. So. But like in like English swear words, there's maybe 2.
Yeah. Yeah.
It wasn't. No.
Well, you gotta understand, African swear words they're different than American ones. They're more descriptive. They're
you don't need to go into detail.
They're better at cursing than we are. It's just Americans we're not very good at it. We have like 4 words, and
we repeat them
and we just repeat them a bunch, and that's pretty much all we do. Like other cultures, they have like 10 of their own, then they use the American ones because they hear them in TV. So it's their swearing is better than ours. So anyway.
All right, so story good?
Story was great. Yeah,
I really enjoyed it.
I thought it was better than I thought it would be. Now, it has a few holes in it, like it's not a perfect story, but way better than I expected. I expected kind of like a mixed message, like something being preached at me with some action sequences.
I felt more preached at by the Samsung commercial before the, like
great commercial, Samsung,
preachy.
by the way.
I don't even. You're barely on camera.
Sorry, hi. Great commercial. I love your robots.
I mean, it was Wall-E.
Yeah,
it was Wall-E. Wall-E's preachy.
Wall-E's preachy.
Wall-E is like, stop depending on technology. You'll get fat and destroy the earth. Like, that's Wall-E, right? This is not the message of Black Panther.
No.
But I guess if you're gonna say that the message is, I said earlier, it's more for black people than it is for white people, right?
Sure. Yeah.
I think the message is, you have a responsibility to help.
Yeah.
Does that seem right?
That seems right. It wasn't.
And it's not like white people better help black people.
Yeah.
No, it's like black people.
I didn't feel white guilted by this.
No.
And I think that's probably something that's really hard to do, I think, now, or just in general, especially when it comes to cinema, when you're trying to tell a story like that. I think it's difficult to do that, and I think this movie did it quite well. But yeah, it was just kind of like a come together type of movie. That seemed to be the message, and I enjoyed it. It was fun.
Acknowledge your faults.
Yep.
Own it.
And
Help
change.
others.
Yeah, easy. The golden rule. But no, it was a lot of fun. Action sequences were great. I really wish that. Never mind. I wish that we were directing movies like Ryan Coogler. I'm looking forward to the rest of his career as a director, because this is like, this was pretty good.
Well, let me ask you a question. I'm going to derail this a bit.
Go.
How was the feel of this compared to,
like other Marvel movies?
Yeah, like we just had Thor Ragnarok.
Sure.
How does this feel compared to Thor Ragnarok?
Well, Thor Ragnarok was just like a raucously kind of good time, right?
Okay. Now, how does this feel compared to, like, Avengers?
Oh, man.
Or Civil War?
See, those movies feel like they're part of something bigger, and they feel like they serve a purpose to be, more movies kind of thing. This didn't feel like that to me. This felt like a complete story.
It felt like a complete run of a comic series.
Yeah.
Right? That is within the world that we're very familiar with.
Yeah.
Even though we really haven't seen Wakanda except for like a shot and the credits of Civil War.
A little bit.
Right? That's the only time we've seen Wakanda. But everything felt consistent.
Yeah. I feel like this could have very easily been split into 2 movies. And I'm wondering if that's how it was originally written. Because there is kind of a lull. Like, we lose our main bad guy for a very large portion in the middle of the film. And then he comes back and he's our main bad guy again. You know what I mean? Like, we're introduced to him.
There's the bad guy that you think is the bad guy.
Right.
At least the bad guy that they think is the bad guy. Turns out he's not.
Yeah. Well,
it's the other bad guy.
That he's not that he's not a bad guy. He's just not that big of a deal. He ends up not being that big of a deal. And then I don't know, it just felt weird. Like, it felt like it could have been.
It was a complete storyline.
Yeah.
It's in the larger world, but it is a complete story.
So, but that wasn't like, I very well feel like they could have done that with 2 movies that wrapped up this story arc, then wrapped up this story arc while introducing this one. But they probably didn't have the budget for that kind of thing and didn't know if they're going to make another one. I'm sure they will make another one though. Our crowd tonight was pretty big. I'm sure it'll make enough money that they'll get greenlit for a second one.
Another Black Panther.
Yeah, another Black Panther movie.
I absolutely think so.
Yeah. And I'm looking forward to seeing more of him in Infinity War.
Yeah.
I think that'll be fun.
Oh, man. So I was hoping that this would just be like, take us right to Infinity War.
Yeah.
I think Thor Ragnarok got us closer than this did.
Oh, definitely. I mean, everybody knows there's going to be a post-credit scene, and that's probably the most. 2. Yeah.
There was 2.
That's probably the most connection that we get. Like,
but it really, it was a little more connected back to Civil War than it was to anything forward.
Yeah, I know, you're right. But it's just, that's the only hint that we got, and a trailer for it.
Done good not spoiling this.
I know. I don't think we intended for this to not be a spoiler review, but now it is. So we'll just stick with it.
Yeah, it's good.
Anyway, you want to wrap it up?
Yeah, I totally recommend this.
Yeah, I recommend it. Definitely go see it. It's worth your money. It's definitely worth your money. So.
All right, hey. This is great. If you like videos like this,
like it, subscribe, share it with your friends.
If you want to see more like it, ding the bell. Bing.
Is that what that is? Does it make a ding noise?
I get notifications. If you want notifications, hit that bell. All right,
guys.
Thanks for watching.
We'll see you.
Peace.